The report came with news no one expected. The bills went into the red before the month ended. The doctor spoke words that the heart refused, and yet there was something strange and real inside. It's not denial of pain or escape from reality. It's a peace that comes from a place that logic can't map. This peace that dwells in me didn't come from my effort. I didn't build it with discipline or willpower. It came when I least expected it and least deserved it, and settled where despair had reserved a place. Paul wrote about joy with chains on his wrists. It wasn't a performance of a strong man before others. It was the evidence of something the jailers didn't understand. A peace that lived where their logic couldn't reach. A reason asked how, and I don't have an articulate answer. I only know there's a center in me that chaos couldn't move. The waves came and I felt each one of them, but the ground underneath that stayed firm. May I never trade this mystery for a cheap explanation. May I never need to understand to receive what God gives without demanding that I first comprehend. It's exactly what proves it comes from Him, not from me. This strange and real peace, I want it to stay forever, even if I never manage to put into words where it comes from. Peace that doesn't make sense, the strongest argument for a God who acts beyond the limits of what I understand. I try to protect my heart with precise reasoning, with early planning for every possible scenario. I spent sleepless nights closing all the gaps, and still fear entered through where I hadn't foreseen. There is a God more efficient than any strategy, who doesn't need to map out threats, already knows them all. The peace of God patrols what my mind cannot reach. It enters the corridors where fear used to hide. It doesn't negotiate with anxiety or make deals with panic. It simply occupies the space, and what it occupies rests. God what was weighing me down, not with the right words, with the words I had, with gratitude mixed with tears and questions. And the God who was waiting took the post immediately. It's not that the problems disappeared with prayer, the bills were still there, the diagnosis remained, but there was someone greater than the problems, guarding the place where I would have been destroyed. Without him, I learned that my part is not to guard, it's to present, to lay before the throne what I can carry, and trust that what is kept by the peace of God is in hands that have never dropped what they received. May I stop trying to be my own God and let the peace that surpasses do what it knows how to do. The guard of the heart doesn't sleep, and I finally could sleep, because what is in God's hands is safer than in mine. There's noise that comes from the outside, and that's the easiest. The hard part is the noise that lives inside the chest, the voice that repeats scenarios that never happened and rehearses catastrophes with terrifying details. Be still. It's not an order for the storm outside, it's an invitation for the inner storm that no one else sees. Be still, and in the silence that follows the inner chaos, know that I am not what fear said I am. Be still, not because everything is resolved, but because what hasn't been resolved is in the right hands. Know me in this silence, discover who governs. What seemed out of control was never outside my control. Elijah was exhausted, afraid, and asking for death, and God didn't appear in the wind, fire, or earthquake. He came in the still small voice, the one only a quieted heart can catch. The loudest noise can't convey what the silence can. May I learn to practice silence, not as an escape, but as a strategic position before God, where what is noise loses strength gradually, and the voice that matters most becomes clearer. In the silence I chose instead of the noise that was easier. I found you in a way the noise never allowed me to, not with dramatic visions or a voice from the heavens, but with a quiet certainty that the principles that reform all of life for those who learn that God speaks louder in silence. The hurricane didn't ask for permission to enter my life. The walls I had spent years building gave way in days. Everything solid showed it was more fragile than I thought. And in the middle of all this, I discovered a place that didn't spin. In the center of every storm, there is the eye still. Not because the storm stops, but because it doesn't enter there. In the eye of the hurricane, I learned that peace is not the absence of a wind. It's the zone where the wind has no authority over me. I didn't ask for the hurricane to stop. I learned to dwell in the center where the peace of God creates a territory that the storm respects. Those who were in the boat with Jesus were also in the storm, but there was something different. There was someone who was sleeping, not out of negligence, but with peace the storm couldn't affect. And this peace was transferable. Just waking him up was enough. Sometimes the hurricane is necessary. It destroys what shouldn't stay. What collapsed in my hurricane needed to collapse. What remained in the eye of the storm with the peace of God revealed what was real and what was just an illusion of solidity. I came out of the hurricane different from when I entered. Not because I was spared, but because I was accompanied. What entered with me into the center of the hurricane revealed to be more solid than everything the storm destroyed. In the eye of the hurricane, I learned what is not learned in calmness, that the peace of God doesn't avoid the storm, it dwells within it. The hurricane passed, the peace stayed, and what learned to dwell in the eye never fears the wind again. I went to the world's marketplace in search of peace. There were many varieties on the well-organized shelves. Peace that lasts as long as health persists. Peace that holds as long as the relationship is well. I bought many, they all came with an expiration date, until someone told me of one the world doesn't sell. I leave my peace with different nature the world gives with conditions. Mine has no clauses the world gives as circumstances favor. Mine doesn't. Jesus said this the night before he was arrested and crucified, with betrayal already sitting at the table and the deal sealed. And in his voice there was a calm that no actor could fake. The peace he promised, he was already demonstrating. What I received for free has no return clause. I'll return the others back to the shelves of the world, not because they are false, but because they are not enough. There is a peace that dwells permanently, independent of the mood of the circumstances, the account balance, the state of the body. This is not for sale and cannot be stolen. It is the inheritance of a child, and I am a child, and this peace is mine. Dwells inside here, and what didn't come from the world won't go with the world when it's gone. I carried for far too long what wasn't mine to carry, with the illusion that if I let go, everything would collapse, as if the universe depended on my worry to keep spinning at the right speed. Come to me, not as a conquest, but as surrender. The rest he offers begins with hands that open. Rest, not because everything is resolved. Rest, because the one who resolves is awake. Rest, not in the absence of the problem, but in the presence of the one who is greater than the problem. The yoke he places is different from what I carried, for he carries with me, and the togetherness changes everything. I learned that resting in the peace of God is not passivity. It's the bravest act in a world that glorifies constant effort. It's saying I'm not indispensable the way I thought, and discovering that this truth frees instead of diminishing. The child in the Father's arms doesn't ask about the path, doesn't check the map or question the route chosen. day I choose the rest that seems irresponsible to the world, that gives what the world says I must hold, that trusts what the world says I must control, the rest where the world says I should agitate, resting not because I'm naive about the reality, but because I know the one who governs what reality doesn't show me. Became more whole than I was. The news screams the end of the world every morning. Social media screams urgency with every scroll. Fear screams catastrophe before it happens. And in the middle of this deafening choir of voices, there's one that doesn't compete for volume, it just waits. The heart that learns to hear, it discovers what the others missed. You whisper when everything screams around me, and the whisper that comes from you carries more than any shout. You don't compete with the noise, you wait for me to come close. And as I learn to approach, the scream gets farther away. Elijah needed wind, fire, and earthquake to be convinced that the God he sought was present in that place. But God wasn't in any of them, he was afterward, in the whisper that only a quieted heart can catch. May I train my spiritual ear for the softer frequency. May I learn to filter the deafening cry of the temporary, and tune into what speaks slower but with more authority. The voice that created the world never needed to raise the tone. I went into silence, not out of heroic spiritual discipline, but because the noise exhausted me before I realized it. And in the exhaustion of the scream, the whisper finally became audible, not because it got louder, but because I finally lowered. I heard what the whisper was saying, and the scream lost the power it had. A quiet word from God is worth more than 1,000 alarms from the world. When everything screams, you whisper, and the whisper wins, not by volume, by the authority of who speaks. Mm-hmm. The disciples were fishermen. They knew the sea. They could tell the difference between a passing storm and real danger. And when fear took over even them, it was serious. The boat was filling and the master was sleeping on the deck. Master, don't you care if we perish? A question every desperate heart has asked. He woke up and didn't ask about the size of the problem. He didn't ask for a report or evaluate the severity of the situation. He spoke to the wind, and the wind recognized who was speaking. He spoke to the sea, and the sea remembered where it came from. There was a great calm, immediate, complete, impossible. And then came the question that reversed the weight of fear. Why are you so timid in faith? Not as a cruel reprimand, but as a revelation. What you feared was under control the whole time. What kind of man is this? They asked among themselves, astonished. The answer they didn't give was the answer that would change everything. The kind of man who is also the creator of what scared them, who slept in the storm, not out of carelessness, but with a peace that transcends. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," and there was, is the one who says to my storm, "Stop right here." The storms of my life are not stronger than the authority of the one who created them and knows them by name. What needed to obey, obey that daddy on the sea. And what needs to obey in my life also recognizes this voice. The storm obeyed, and the disciples were speechless. I too, in front of the peace that governs what frightens me. I wish you had paid attention, said the Lord with longing. Your peace would be like a river, not like a temporary puddle, not like a stream that dries up before September, but like a current that has no season to stop. The river doesn't ask permission from the obstacle, it goes around it. It doesn't wait for favorable ground, it flows with what's there. The peace there is like a river, doesn't ask if the moment is right. It doesn't wait for circumstances to line up to start flowing. It goes through the storms that try to block it, making a way where there was no path. before. On the banks of the river, the trees bear fruit at the right time. Not because the ground is especially fertile, but because the root found the underground stream and drinks without depending on the rain that didn't come this month. May the peace of God in me flow with this constancy. May it not be blocked by obstacles that seem permanent. May it find its way around what cannot be removed and come out on the other side, still abundant, not diminished. The river doesn't lose its essence by going around the rock. It reaches the other side, still being the same river. May my peace cross obstacles with the same identity that it entered with, not diminished, maybe even clearer for the storms the river passes. Don't weaken it, they filter, and what comes out filtered by the process is purer. Peace like a river that flows, that filters, that reaches what the stone tried to block, the river made clearer. He said this on the heaviest night of his earthly life, with betrayal already planned and the traitor still sitting at the table, with the cross marked on God's calendar for the next morning. And his voice was firm: let not your heart be troubled. It wasn't insensitivity to the pain of those he loved. It was peace so established that it overflowed even at night. Let not your heart be troubled, not as an impossible command, but as a real possibility offered by the one begins with the act of trusting, even when you can't see. The troubled heart is not weak, it's human. It's the heart that hasn't learned to anchor in what doesn't change, that still seeks stability in the circumstances around it, when the stability it's seeking lies in another direction. Choosing not to be troubled, it's not pretending to be fine, it's exercising authority over one's own heart, which was given to the believer by the same one who said, let not your heart be troubled, and who showed it was possible. The same night he promised, there is a place prepared. He said anywhere to prepare it. The one who will prepare my place knows the address of my heart, and this God who prepared when the heart most needs to hear it. The anchor does not prevent the storm from existing. It does not soften the waves nor redirect the wind. It does one thing only, keeps the boat in the right place, while everything around tries to carry it where it should not go. Anchored does not mean motionless on the surface. It means the depths hold what the surface shakes. The peace of God is the anchor that descends deeper than the storm, that enters beyond the veil, says Scripture, firm and secure. It is not the calm that keeps me in place. It is what goes deep when everything above is shaken. I have seen boats without anchors drift in a small storm. I have seen anchored boats cross storms that seemed fatal. The difference was not the size of the storm, it was what was or was not descending into the depths. May my anger be inspected before the storm. May I not discover it was loose only when the wind comes. May every calm day be used to deepen what must be firm when the storm does not ask permission. The storms I crossed taught me about anchors. What looked like solidity on the surface was exposed as fragile. What was descending deep in Christ remained. And I learned the difference between the appearance of stability and root, anchored in the peace of God, not because the sea is calm, but because what descends deep is firmer than any anchor. The sea may shake, the ground holds, and what God's ground holds will not drift away. It is not passive peace that watches from afar and hopes. It is active, but patrolling the borders of what is precious to me, not letting anxious thoughts settle without resistance, intercepting fear before it finds a fixed address. The peace of God will guard, not may guard, not tries to guard, will guard. A verb of certainty, of promise of God. He guards the heart from which flow the issues of life. He guards the mind where the battle begins before it descends. Not like a wall that prevents the world from existing, but like a filter that decides what enters and what does not pass. I presented in prayer what had exhausted me within, not with the most elaborate words of my spiritual life, but with raw honesty mixed with imperfect gratitude. And the peace that guards took the post that had been left vacant. I do not need to understand the mechanism to benefit from it. I do not know how the peace of God does what it does inside me. I know that when I present and trust, something changes, and what changes is not the circumstances. It is me within them. There is a sense in all who needs no rest shift, who knows every threat before it approaches, who will not negotiate with fear nor make deals with dread, and who is on duty while I sleep and know nothing. The heart guarded by the peace of God is not invulnerable. It is protected, which is completely different and far better. Guarded, not armored, but protected by the peace that surpasses. And what the peace of God guards sleeps without needing to keep watch. There is a silence that is merely the absence of external noise, that is the simplest kind, just close the door. But there is another, the rarest kind, that is the presence of something that occupies the space where noise used to live. Sacred silence is not a vacuum, it is discreet fullness. The peace of God filling what the noise left empty. In this silence, I learned what noise never taught me, that God does not need volume to have total authority. Let the quiet depends on who is speaking, and here it is the eternal one. We create noise because silence confronts us. It shows us what we prefer not to see, while noise distracts. Sacred silence is not comfortable at first. It is the mirror where what was hidden beneath sound appears. May I learn not to run from what silence reveals, but to receive revelation as a gift, not as a threat. What emerges in sacred silence is what needed light, and what receives light instead of shadow has a chance to heal. In the silence I chose instead of the easier noise, I found what the noise had covered for years. There were no dramatic revelations with a voice from above. It was a quietness slowly descending from my chest into the depths. And in the depths there was something sound had not let me notice. The peace that surpasses, waiting where noise cannot reach. Sacred silence, not absence, presence of a peace that was waiting for me to finally stop. For a long time, the logic I used was simple. When the situation is resolved, then I will rest. When the answer arrives, then I will have peace. And I spent years waiting for conditions that never became permanent. God's order reverses what seems logical. Peace is not the consequence of resolution. It is the condition for crossing through. Presented to God in prayer with thanksgiving, and peace, not the answer, will guard your heart. The sequence is surrender, gratitude, and the peace that precedes carries me to the answer with integrity. I learned this in the longest waiting season I ever lived, where the answer delayed far beyond what I thought was fair. And in the middle of the waiting, I discovered something available that did not depend on the answer in order to be real and sustaining. Peace before the answer is not the resignation of someone who gave up. It is faith that keeps asking and believing while waiting. It is the heart that learned God is good, even in silence, and that God's silence is never abandoned. before the answer was the most unexpected gift that season of waiting gave me, while I was asking for something else. Before the answer, the peace that surpasses was already here. And when the answer came, peace decided to stay as well. The desert is not on the itineraries of those seeking peace. It has not enough shade nor guaranteed water. It has no company to distract, nor noise to numb. There is only God, and the question is whether that is enough or not. In the desert, the question is answered without the possibility of illusion, for there is nothing else. They're competing with the answer. In the desert, Moses discovered the name of the God who says. In the desert, Elijah discovered the voice he had lost on Carmel. In the desert, Paul processed what the road to Damascus had undone. The desert is not punishment, it is a school where the essential is revealed. The peace I learned in the desert has a taste abundance cannot give. When everything was removed and there was only God, and God was enough. That experience does not vanish. When the desert ends, it remains engraved as a certainty no circumstance can erase. I do not desire the desert, but if it comes, I want to make use of it, to extract what only the desert has the conditions to teach. The peace that survives total deprivation is the most solid kind that exists, because it was tested under the most extreme conditions and passed. I came out of my desert with something I did not carry. When I entered a peace that did not depend on what the desert had taken away, that survived the absence of everything I thought was necessary, and became clear, precise, because the rest was removed. The desert made me poor in everything and rich in the essential. The peace I found where I least expected it is the one I trust most. Peace in the desert, the most honest paradox of faith, understood only by those who went into the desert and returned transformed. I have known every kind of rest the world offers, the rest of sleep that restores the exhausted body, the rest of leisure that relieves the weight of the week. Both good, both necessary, both insufficient. There is a layer of the soul that sleep does not reach, that wakes with the alarm still carrying what went to bed with it. The rest that God gives descends deeper than sleep. It restores what no 8-hour night can touch. It is not rest of the body, it is the rest of one who stopped fighting for what was never his battle to win alone. I learned the difference on a night when I slept exhausted and woke exhausted. The bed had rested my body, my soul was untouched in its weariness. And then I went to another kind of rest, the rest of surrender, and woke from what had never slept, restored where sleep had not reached. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength, not because they stood still, but because they stopped fighting alone. The rest of God is not inactivity, it is repositioning, acting from the place of one who has let go of what was not his to carry. Today I carry much less than I used to, not because it diminished, but because I learned which weights are mine and which are God's. What is mine I carry with dignity and without bending under it. What is God's I release with confidence and without needing to check. And in this division that seems simple and took years to learn, I discovered the rest the world promises but cannot deliver. The rest that God gives does not come after the work. It comes when the work is done from the correct position in peace. Reason made the calculation, and the result was concerning. It added the risks, subtracted the guarantees, divided by uncertainty, and presented the report with the obvious conclusion that any rational being should be afraid right now. But there is a variable that rational calculation does not include, because it does not know how to measure what has no measure. The peace of God surpasses, does not ignore, surpasses reason. It operates on a level the most precise analysis cannot reach. It is not irrationality, it is what comes after reason, when reason has reached its limit and gone beyond it. Reason is an indispensable tool. It does not govern everything. It analyzes the visible with impressive precision. But there are dimensions of reality that are invisible to reason, and it is precisely there that the peace of God has its territory. I do not turn reason off, I submit it to faith with respect. It has brought here everything it could map, and then I surrender it to the one who sees beyond what it can see, and receive back something reason alone would never generate. Reason analyzed and became honestly concerned. I respected its conclusion. It was not wrong, but there was more information available than it had access to. A variable called God that changes all calculations, and with that variable included, the numbers did not change, but the peace over them that surpassed every analysis. Peace that surpasses reason does not replace it, it exceeds it. And what surpasses reason without denying it is what I call faith. On the outside, everything was moving at accelerated speed. Plans falling apart, certainties turning into questions. People making decisions that affected what I had built, and I witnessing it all, trying to understand what to hold. And then I realized there was a place inside that did not spin, that the hurricane had not found, that remained fixed. It is not that I did not feel, I felt every impact clearly. It is not that I did not care, I cared more than I showed. It is that there was something beneath the feeling and the caring that remained firm, while the surface shook. Oh. while the wheel spins around it. The movement of the wheel depends on the fixity of the axle. If the axle spins, the wheel stops functioning as a wheel. And I was learning to be the axle, not merely the wheel. The peace of God did not promise to free me from the movement around me. It promised to anchor what cannot move without destroying me. And there is an enormous difference between everything moving and the center, that center, moving along with everything. I learned to identify the difference between surface agitation and displacement of the center. They are completely distinct experiences. The surface can and will be shaken. That is life happening. The center anchored in the peace of God. That is another matter. May life shake me on the surface as much as it needs to shake me, but may the center where the peace of God dwells remain still, still within, not like a statue, like an axle that allows movement around it, because it itself does not give way. It was the fourth watch of the night, between 3 and 6 in the morning. The moment when human resistance is at its lowest, when the storm seemed louder than the boat, and they saw something they did not expect to see, and terror increased. Fear added to the problem, a dimension that did not exist. It turned the help that was coming into a threat approaching. Do not be afraid, it is I. 3 words that reorganized everything. They did not change the wind, they had not yet calmed the sea, but they changed what that presence meant to them. And the right presence in a difficult place changes the experience of the place. There's the unknown, walking on the waters. When the known revealed itself, fear lost its foundation. It was not a ghost, it was the master walking away. of an ancient event on a lake in Galilee. It is a living word spoken at the exact hour of need. Sound could not give a presence that reorganized what fear had disfigured. It did not eliminate the storm, but became greater than it. Do not be afraid. It is I, still echoes in the early hours. And each time it echoes, fear loses a little more territory. Oh, it is I, the two words that resolve the problem of fear. It is I, because when it is Him, what frightened me becomes only the context. Weeping may last for a night. Scripture promises this, but it does not say the night will be short or easy. Some nights stretch beyond what seems bearable, and the dawn He promised seems to have forgotten the address. But the peace of God does not depend on the length of the night. It crosses through no matter how many hours the darkness lasts. Peter slept between soldiers on the eve of being judged, with chains on his wrist and death as the likely scenario. And the peace of God sustained him so completely that the angel had to shake him awake, not the other way around. This quality of peace on the eve of judgment is not the product of a naturally calm personality. It is the fruit of years of learning that what God holds, holds, and what the God who will judge me tomorrow has already secured is secure. May arrives at dawn with you, and the dawn that follows the night has a taste ordinary day does not.